Okay, this is episode 4 of the quad dock campfire slash lipo fire stories. So I'm just going through all the things I've done in the previous episodes to just let people know mistakes I've made that have resulted in fires in my basement. And the last one, this one is just how to just safe practices for charging in general, other than what I've covered so far. So one thing I think you should do is just plan on wherever you charge LiPo batteries, just plan on, I'm not saying it's going to happen, just plan on a fire happening at some point. Just plan on it because it could happen. So I'm going to show you what I used to do real quick and then come back to this charging and just talk about just the surfaces. So here's what you should not do. Right back here, I've got this wonderful wooden workbench. And I don't know how it happened, but I ran a cord over here, and you can see I still charge like what I consider safer type batteries, but probably going to move these at some point too. But I used to charge LiPo batteries on this wooden workbench table, which is deep in my basement. And on the other side of this wall is the stairwell. It goes upstairs and all the way up to the top of the house. So I think a good rule of thumb is, oh, and here's all this cardboard. This cardboard was not here when I used to charge. That's a new thing, but anyway. But I think a good rule of thumb is don't charge deep in your house, even though it's a concrete floor and all that. It's pretty deep in the house, and if a fire were to get out of hand, it could just burn my whole house down pretty quick. I think a lot of us are bad to charge deep in our garage because that's usually where the outlets are, you know, when you drive in or whatever. So this was actually my wife's idea, but I had already started, like, you know, I put smoke detectors up back here, and I aligned the wooden workbench with ceramic tile. And so I'd done some kind of precautions, but after I'd had a couple of fires here where things had caught on fire, and I'd screamed, grabbed them, and then like threw them on the floor, then I'd start kicking them. But you can see it's a long ways to get whatever's on fire out of the house. So my wife was like, honey, why don't you just charge close to an exterior door? So if something were to go wrong, you could just grab it and just throw it outside, just like one motion. And so that made a lot of sense. So I charged over here now, and I still brought the ceramic tiles over. I'm close to an exterior door. I have a smoke detector, which actually works. We just tested it when this happened, so recently. So being, I think, you know, obviously a block wall, concrete floor, near an exterior door, way away from the interior of the house, I think those are all good things to do. I do have some big fire extinguishers, but I actually got a few of these just small, and I know they look kind of rinky-dink, but believe it or not, I've used them and they work. So this one's rated for some, I think, some chemical fires and things like that. And it is true, once a LiPo battery catches on fire, I mean, you could put water on it till the cows come home, but in my experience, the cells just keep igniting, and it needs to really just get outside your house, and it's gonna do its thing and the actual initial fireball will be over pretty quick usually. But anyway, so ceramic tiles, charge near an exterior door if you can. Another thing I used to do before I set up all this, I just had an old charcoal grill that I didn't use anymore, and I ran the cords up through the vented part of the charcoal grill, and I just charged and left all my batteries inside a charcoal grill in my garage, and that worked fine too. As far as battery storage, you can store them. You can see here, again, I'm storing my batteries pretty close to an exterior door. Usually I put nothing flammable up here. There's a box up there. You gotta watch that. You need to constantly monitor your storage area. It's like somebody decided to put a bunch of cardboard underneath. So anyway, but in general, nothing flammable above or below. And this is like a metal rack, and I still just put some tiles down there, and I kind of have a policy where I have like charge packs on this side and discharge packs towards the back, but Just good, I think, good things to do. Another way to store your lipos is you can just get some concrete blocks and put them on edge and just make little bunkers, like battery bunkers. And I've even seen people put, like, where they store batteries, the sandbags in plastic above the area. Like here, this would work pretty good. You could put on this shelf a few sandbags. And I think the theory there, of course, they're fireproof, and if the fire is bad enough, it might melt the plastic and then the sand would just dump down on the fire. So anyway, just ideas. Hopefully some of that's helpful. And this will conclude my Lipo fire battery tales episodes. That's it.